Hey guys, welcome back to the Full Co. In this episode, we are going back into our squad audit. So the transfer window is now closed, thank goodness, and we can just focus on the football for the next couple of months. We're obviously in the middle of an international break, so there's not a great deal to think about in terms of performances. So a great time to jump in and continue the squad audit. Now, thankfully, or not necessarily the best for the team, but the defensive side of the squad remains largely unchanged due to the transfer window. So that may not necessarily be the best thing for the team, but if you do want to jump in and have a look at that video, I'll put the link in to this season's defensive squad audit. And now we're going to have a little look at the midfielders. The first thing to say is I have picked and chosen midfielders. So what I've done is I've chosen to leave out the wide players and have them in the forward line. So you could obviously say that players like Kudus and Johnson could be considered midfielders, along with many others, but I'm going to put them into the forward line and I'm only going to focus on the ones that I think are predominantly going to play in midfield positions, with one possible exception. I'm going to go through in squad number order, starting with our new number 6, which is Joao Palhinha. As we know, he is a profile that we didn't have, and therefore we're delighted to bring him in and have him in the squad now. I think he adds defensive capability, strength, steel, better positional awareness from a defensive point of view. But because we've already had a few games of the new season, we also know where his limitations lie. So, him as a progressive passer, him developing the ball with developing the play with the ball at feet, we don't think that's what we're going to get out of Joao Palhinha. So we do want to see a bit of an improvement. He will get sharper, he will get closer to match fitness, he will embed better into the team, he's going to understand his teammates and the systems around him better. We definitely want to see a little bit more from him receiving the ball if we've got no other options and we need to do that. But what we're expecting from him is an enforcer, a destroyer, a breaker up of passes, making tackles, making challenges, and helping out his defensive line and his fellow midfielders, filling in gaps behind the attacking players. So let's see how he gets on. Next one is the potentially controversial one because he's number 7, but it's Xavi Simons. I'm doing him with the midfielders, but I do think he will play off the left-hand side quite often. But yeah, we're going to put him in the midfielders. I'm talking about him now as a number 10. And obviously, a lot of excitement. He's a high profile player. He's very young at the age of 22. He's coming in from different leagues. So we don't know how quickly he's going to hit the ground running, but we do know that technically there is a very, very talented footballer in there. Again, the number 10 position is one we need with injuries to James Maddison and Deki Kulusevski. So he's a player we absolutely needed to bring in. And I think we're all delighted that such a promising young player has joined the football club. What I'm expecting to see is plenty of take-ons, nice, tidy, neat touches on the ball, creating space, wriggling through, past players, and then being able to offload the ball. I'd like to see him unleash that finish. He's got a really nice cultured finish off his right foot, which I'd like to see plenty of from the edge of the box or just inside the box if we can free him up into those positions. And then if he's playing in the middle, stitching the play together, can he control tempo? I'm not sure he is at his current stage of development. That kind of number 10, can he develop into that kind of player? Or is he the more exciting, chance creator? Can he unlock the door against lower defending teams, more resilient teams? These are the kind of things we want to see. And then playing off the left-hand side, can he get involved in those rotations out wide? Can he, get involved in intricate interplay with his wide players, with his full backs, and then whoever else might be playing in a central position if he's playing off the left-hand side? Lots to see. Exciting player, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt for a little while to make sure that he gets the best possible start to his Tottenham Hotspur career. Next up, we have Yves Bissouma. We all think that Yves Bissouma is going still to be heading on his way out because there are some transfer windows that remain open after the Premier League's slam shut. So I'm not going to go into detail on Yves Bissouma. It's a shame. There's a very talented footballer in there, but maybe his attitude as he enters the last year of his contract is not what Thomas Frank wants to see, and therefore the club are clearly up for moving him on and moving him out of the squad. So if he does move on, wish him the best of luck. There's a fantastic footballer that we maybe haven't been able to get the best out of, or he himself has not put the best version of himself out there significantly during long periods at the club. Next up, we have our number 10, James Maddison. Unfortunately, we don't think we're going to see much of him. Now, with ACL injuries, there's always that potential that, post surgery, putting everything back together, he could make an appearance towards the end of the season. He could come back earlier if his rehabilitation is good. But with these kind of injuries, you need to be so careful. So if we don't see James Maddison for the entirety of this season, even if he could play by the end of the season, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because the key is if he's going to play for Tottenham Hotspur in the future, we need to get this right, because he's had multiple recurring injuries, and so we need to build him up to the point where he's resilient to be able to come back and play. We wish him all the best. We do need a player like him in the side. He would be a very valuable player alongside the addition of Xavi Simons to do something very, very different. I think he's got a better potentially and a very different passing range to Simons. So we definitely do need to address that if Maddison is not going to make his return. But yeah, we wish him all the best in his recovery. Next up is Archie Gray. We're all very keen to see him. We think that Thomas Frank has now, probably moved away from Archie Gray as centre half cover. He may well still be forced to use him at fullback cover, because unfortunately we've not signed that left centre back cover. So we're one injury away from needing, backups to play in our fullback positions. So he might still find himself getting minutes in those positions, but we hope not. But it feels like Thomas Frank is going to deploy him in that number 6 role, in that midfield role. And off the one performance that we've had to see him in the Premier League against Burnley this season, there is still plenty that needs to be done on the attacking side of the game. I'd like to see him learning from Palhinha. I'd like to see him being more physically imposing on the game, interceptions, winning the ball, and then taking contacts and then offloading to the midfielders around him or to his wide players or fullbacks to get play started. These are the kind of things that I've seen bits and pieces of, but I'm going to need to see a lot more of. And I do want to see him starting to really step up that athleticism, that reading of the play, that ability to get in, make tackles and win the ball back. So hopefully going to see lots and lots of minutes from him across the season with lots of fixtures available. And that's what I'm going to be looking for from Archie Gray this season. His teammate, Lucas Berrival, number 15, we want to see him stepping forward. Take the next step. So last season was a huge learning curve for him. After a difficult start to his time, he started to really put it together because the necessity of the injuries meant he played a lot of minutes. That's done him the world of good. He's a physically robust player. Now this season, can he take it forward? Can he be that number 8 that can progress the ball, not just at feet, but improve his passing, improve his identification of when to release the ball and who to release it to? Can he get forward? Can he have shots and score a few goals as well? These are the kind of things that we're going to be looking for him. We know he's got the hard running. We know he's got the attitude. We know he can be good on the ball and he's got nice touch. He's got to now take everything up another level this season. So that's what we're looking for from him. If we move on, our next player is, and I'm putting him in the midfielders more as a number 10, but I think he will play on the right-hand side, is Deki Kulusevski, number 21. Obviously injured at the moment, but when he comes back, once he gets himself up to speed, it'll be really interesting to see how Thomas Frank uses him. Will he predominantly use him on the right-hand side? He obviously would make very good backup to Mohamed Kudus out there in terms of strength and the ability to hold the ball up. He has shown that when we've needed him in past seasons to play on that right hand side as an outlet, as somebody we can give the ball to and it will stick, he can do that brilliantly. But he does have some of the skill set of a number 10. He's not a pure number 10 by any means, in my estimation. I don't think he has the vision, especially for a deeper lying number 10. I don't think he has the range of passing either. But what he can do in an advanced number 10 position or in that support striker role is he can get up there. He can do the little intricate interplay, the 1-2s, the rotations. He has also shown that he's got an ability to finish inside the box from central areas or when he's moving from the right hand side onto his left foot. Some lovely reverse finishes last season. The one thing he needs to improve is when he's coming off the right hand side, that whipped left foot finish towards the far post. Far too many times that goes flying over the bar or slams into the defender. So when he's doing that kind of stuff, we want to see a bit of an improvement. But yeah, we hope to see Decky sooner rather than later to add to our midfield options. Then we have the start of pre-season, Pap Mata Sarr. He's had a great preseason, but we've already been handed a bit of a reality check of him playing in that number 10 role. He's not playing as a number 10, he's playing as a hard running player in that position. But we've already been shown that against a very good Bournemouth side, without other players being able to progress the ball, having Pap Sarr in there actually doesn't add great value to the side, doesn't add great value to what we're trying to do going forward. So we're going to want to see him really impose himself on football matches. Now, it's not his fault if he's being put in a position that doesn't suit his skill set, but I still want to see plenty of stuff. He's still got this thing where he can be a bit untidy in possession. He can give the ball away a bit too easily, and he's shown he can be a goal scoring threat. We'll go and show that in key moments when we need you. We want that that howitzer of a shot that we used to see from your time in the French league. We've seen it a few times in a Tottenham shirt as well from outside the box. Can you do that kind of stuff? Can you move yourself on this season beyond just the hard running and the interceptions and the stitching play together, as well as being hugely valuable in the high pressing system? Whenever we play a high press system, I do expect to see Pap Sarr on the pitch. Next up, Rodrigo Bentancur, number 30. Smooth, silky, lovely technician, great on the football. We know what he's good at. We know when he struggles, which is when he's given too much of the defensive responsibility. I really want to see him unlocking the part of his game that he's best at, which is stitching play together. So tidy on the ball. Can we get him in those deep lying midfield pockets on the ball, just keeping the tempo going, just moving the ball right to left, probing, entering it into the third phase, the final third, getting it out to the wide players quickly. All of that kind of stuff that we know he can do really, really well. And he gets around the pitch and he puts himself about. So lots more of that. He will be a very important player, and hopefully we'll also see him sign a contract extension this season. That's it, guys. Those are our midfield options for this season coming. As I said, I'm not going to include the wide players. I'm going to do them in a video about the forwards. Let me know what you think. Could we have done more? Should we have done more in that midfield zone? Do we need different profiles? Do we need other options? Let's see how these players get on throughout the rest of the season and make sure that I keep my receipts. I'll look back on these at the end of the year and see whether any of the improvements I've been looking for are there or whether any of the stuff I've said rings true over the course of the season. Let's leave it there. Have a great rest of your week. And as ever, come on, Tottenham.